Hey, Kids Table Board Gaming. It's your friends from Board Game Barrage. I'm Jeff, and I'm here with Matt.
Hello.
And so, we know it's taken a while, but we finally put together the video for the 4-player version of Foodfighters. We have all 4 expansions here, as you can see. So, we're going to run through the rules for you guys. If you like it, great. If not, that's okay too. But we're going to send it to you anyway, so that hopefully you guys can either use it and or expand on it and create your own idea for how to play. This one is a 2-on-2 co-op versus each other. Okay? So we're going to run through everything. We're going to run through how to set it up, how to play properly, any extra rules that we had to add to the game. And then at the end, if you have any questions for us, just send them over and we will try to answer them for you. So here we go. Okay, so step 1, obviously, is pick which faction you want to use. So the way that we decided to do it, which would be the most fair, is Team 1, which is going to be veggies and grains, is this team, and meats and s'mores is the other team. This side is Team A. The way you pick factions is Team A picks the first faction that they want, and then Team 2, or B, picks both of their factions, and then the last team gets the last faction that's left over. Of course, we're recording this when there's 2 new ones that just came out, so now they're going to have a choice as well, which is good. And that's how you pick who's on whose team. Pretty simple. So next we're going to jump into setup. So, setup, you're going to basically set it up like 2 games being played side by side, completely. So you're going to see over here, you've got the veggies versus the meats with their 3 powers and all of their pantry items. 3 crackers, 2 spoons, 1 pan for both sides. The dice can just go in the center here. The beans are all in the center. And then on the other side, you have grains versus s'mores. Again, all of their powers are there. And their starting pantry items are also there. 3 crackers, 2 spoons, 1 pan. The only extra item we have is this little item here, which we will explain in a couple minutes. But that is your basic setup. All the beans go in the center, and you only use a singular red die instead of 2, which will come in the 2 base games, which you do need the 2 base games to play it, obviously, but you only will be using the 1 red die.
Alright, it's Matt here. So we're going to talk about the new token. This is going to be called the counter. So the counter is in between both wars. We're going to kind of explain how the counter works in different ways throughout the video. But the counter is basically, think of it as a pool for both armies. They're both going to be sharing items, sharing resources, and sharing powers. Throughout the game, you'll start to build up, and either team can use either one. But like I said, we're gonna show you a bit more rules, and we're gonna show you how the counter affects the game later on. All right, so how turns work is we got player 1 will be going first. Player 3 is over here. The reason why you put 3 is we got 1 going first, which is the veggies. Then what's gonna happen? It's gonna go diagonally to the s'mores, which is player 2. So this side has the advantage, and that side has the advantage. Now, it's going to go over to the grains. The grains will go, and after the grains, you'll go diagonally again over to the meats. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, so the basic elements of the game basically stay the same with a couple of minor tweaks. So the first thing we're going to do is attacking. So obviously, whoever's facing each other are always thinking about the other faction. There's nothing like, none of these guys are thinking about any of the grains over here. So, you take this board setup. This chicken here is thinking of the lettuce head. So, he's going to attack him. The only difference is, if I roll beans, rather than him getting all the beans go into the counter. That way, either player on that team can spend these beans during the buy phase to buy something. depending on how the war is going on each side, one team may need the beans more than the other. So that's the major change for attacks. Rolling for beans actually works the same way. If he wants to roll for beans instead of attacking, he would roll for beans. Again, it's 3. He would just simply put them on the counter, and then on his turn, he could actually use the beans that he rolled to buy after he chooses to either roll for beans as well or attack. And that's how attacking and rolling for beans works.
Alright, so just like the standard rolls and swapping, you're able to swap the same on your own character. But here's the change. You're able to swap with your partner. For example, I'm going to let Jeff here, and he's going to swap a bacon with a marshmallow, which then moves to both sides. But as you can see, they're both not thinking. But it is a way to get rid of one of your guys to protect him. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Sure. So basically, it's a way to defend yourself against a possible loss of the game, but you're wasting a turn to do that. In addition, the opponent, if they see that coming, they can equip one of their guys. I guess that wouldn't happen. Sorry, Matt, I'm just going to take that. They can equip one of their guys with the pan, who's now not thinking of anything, which means he can attack this marshmallow, and if they already have the other two on this side, they can win the game by having him eliminate the third one.
So just to clarify, the rules are still the same for victory condition. So if you do kill 3 of any type, you do win the game.
Yeah, so what that means is, if the meats faction eliminates the 3 broccolis from veggies, both these teams win the game immediately. You only need to eliminate 1, not 1 from each. It's just 1, either 3 from there or 3 from there. This side will win the game.
Alright. So we just kind of did a little bit of swapping around to kind of explain how this strategy could work. But we wanted to explain something that's very, very important, which Jeff is going to explain right now.
So basically, the way you got to think of it is anyone that's in your army of 9, which will obviously shrink as they get captured, is you control any character that's in your army. Which means that if your partner gives you one of their guys, you then have full power over what that character does. So for example, if you wanted to swap, you no longer have to ask your partner to move this guy. You can just do it. Which also means you attack with this. So on S'more's player's turn, he can't say, I'm using this chocolate that's on the meat side to attack something over here. Because say he had a pan. Because obviously none of those can be attacked by him because he's thinking of muffins. But if he had that, S'more's guy can't use this chocolate to attack. Alternatively, Meat Guy can't use this steak, but he can use this because it's on his side of the board.
Alright, so we just talked about swapping. We just want to clarify just some buying rules. So I'm going to say that we have 5 beans in the counter. The green team here wants to buy a spoon. So what's going to happen? They're going to spend their 3, 1, 2, 3, and get a spoon and put it in the pantry. We're going to say this S'more guy over here, he just rolled for beans. So he rolls for beans, and he gets his 3, and he gets 3, and now it's back to this guy's turn. But he sees an opportunity to use the spoon. He now can grab the spoon off the counter and attach it to one of his guys. And that's basically how your items will work. It same goes for crackers. The only one that is not shareable is the pan. The pan is only for your armory only. It's the only one that cannot be shared. Only one side can ever have one pan. If you ever buy an item, the item will go to the center, and either faction can use it if the beans are available. Did I add anything?
There's only one thing I want to add. The only way, because I have seen this happen before, the only way to get multiple pans on the same side is if the meats guy paid his 3 and bought the pan and then swapped the guy away, then technically this player could have 2 because he would have the meat that's holding the pan and he could equip a pan to one of his own characters. He could actually do it to one of these guys as well if he wanted to. And then technically he would have 2 pans, but now he would have 0.
But the only thing is if the pan was lost, it would go back to whoever the original player.
Yes. You can never have... So, like, for example, if he had a spoon on this guy, and this guy was defeated, the spoon doesn't go back here because then he would have 3. It always returns to whoever doesn't have the spoon.
Alright. Hello again, we're back. We just wanted to kind of give you kind of a game demo. We kind of set the game up in a way where it's already partway through. We've both taken hits. We both all have lost one of everything, just to kind of speed the game along. We both have a spear. There's crackers. I have the bean boost ability, and he also has a meat shield
that I chose to put onto this random chicken for some reason.
Alright, so we're just going to do a little run through because when you start to get limited, a lot of the actions take place definitely in co-op. You're gonna start to see some different types of strategies. So to start off my turn, I'm going to use my broccoli and throw the spear at the bacon there. So there you go. I did miss it, but I do get 3 beans that go to my counter.
Yeah. Would you like to buy anything?
I am good right now.
Okay, so he chooses not to buy anything. So it was his turn. He loses his spear, which means that it goes to the s'mores turn. So the s'mores are going to do basically the same thing. They're just going to attack. We're going to have this chocolate is quite simply going to try and attack the muffin. Replacement works the same as well. So if he loses this character, he would have to fill it with one of the guys in the back, just like in regular Food Fighters. So I'm going to attack there. I actually did get him, believe it or not. So I would take him, and then he would fill up. Of course, that's after my buy phase. And one thing that we didn't explain in the setup was how the singular red die works. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to spend the 4 beans that the s'mores had, and he is going to buy the red die. So what happens is, it gets placed on the counter, and the next time this team would roll any dice, they also have to roll this. So, if he wants to try and win the game by attacking this, he's going to have to do an action that doesn't require rolling. Because if he rolls, he has to roll this. So then it would go to the grain's turn. Their turn is complete. He moves up, and we go to the next turn.
So yeah, we'll just finish up the game. If you have any questions, like feel free. We'll explain any new roles, but if it's an existing role, we won't explain it.
Yeah.
Enjoy. So I'm going to use my bagel to attack your chocolate.
Absolutely.
Got
him.
Perfect.
There you go.
All right.
So I need to defend that chocolate.
So now it's going to be the meat.
Yeah. Would you like to buy?
You know what? I would... You know, I think I need to buy this pan, so I'm going to put the pan right on the muffin that you hit.
Okay, sounds good. So it goes to meats. Where'd the dice go? There. You know what? I really have to defend that chocolate. So I am going to be swapping the chocolate on the meat's turn. He's going to pass over his bacon, and he's going to swap with the chocolate. So, another thing is, you still do get the 1 bean, because it is still a swap. So, on his turn, he swapped his bacon with his chocolate to try and protect it from what's going on over there, and I do get the 1 bean for the swap. His turn is done. I can't buy anything. I only have 1 bean. It goes back to the veggies.
Alright, I shall use my cabbage to attack your steak.
Yes, sir.
Hey!
Got him, too.
And I'm on a roll. Okay, and that's the end of my turn.
So it goes over to s'mores again, and this marshmallow is going to attack the bagel. 4 beans. Oh, I'm sorry, he had to roll this dice too. Okay, so
Oh, he does get him.
So he kills him. The dice is then returned. And I still can't buy anything because I only have 1 bean. So I pass over to him.
Alright, so I'm in a sticky situation here. I think I'm going to move my muffin over. So I'm going to swap my muffin. With this guy over here.
Alright. And that makes it his turn.
And I get 1 bean, sorry.
Yep. That makes it his turn.